Well, happy Monday. This is Flag Day, and it is obviously going to look at opening bell. We're going to look at end of day predictions. We're going to try to figure out where the market is and what it's doing. Hopefully, make some positive points for breakfast. You can pause the screen and see where we're at in terms of our bullet points and what happened today. And so we actually did pretty well, 2 out of 3 at market going short. You can see where the setup was. The only bullish looking one was the Russell. So I would have liked to have gone long in the Russell, but I go all same direction in all 3. And hence we got 2 out of 3. So you can see what happened right at market. We stopped out and fill just almost right away. 42.38. We went backwards. So, I ended up taking, because of the 42.30 line, and we got in at, where did we get in at? 37.75. So I took 7.25. And we got stopped out. If there was one that I would have liked to have DCA'd in, just because where we were at, this would have been a really nice one to get a DCA on. It would have been, marginal, but would have been positive in the long run. So we filled on both the S&P and the NASDAQ and lost on the Russell. So all good there. Let's look at what we did on the limit orders. So on this side of the equation, you can see where I didn't want to be below 14,000. If it went, in other words, I didn't want to DCA, because if you look left on the NASDAQ, there was a lot where it could just rush down. So I was like, nah, I'm not going to DCA that. Now, DCA short on the Russell, sure. I actually wanted to go long. So you can see where my limit order was not very deep. It was almost right at market. And then my limit order down for the S&P was way down at 42.31. So I got into that. So we can look at kind of what happened, and I wasn't really paying attention. So maybe whether or not I should have taken some off the table on this. So I'll show you what took place. We did get into the Russell, and we got in at 36.6. And when it started peaking out, we actually got 9 points. So I took 9 on the 8.5, 8.5 on the Russell. The NASDAQ, I got stopped out right at, I got in at 14 and got stopped out at 88. And you can see that was obviously not one that I wanted to DCA. That would have been obviously the short side that we got in. You can see that I got in at 42.31 right on the first candle. So that was a nice spot to get in, and then it went up. And so it actually went up, and I probably should have taken, just knowing with the market and that we were below the 200 period, I honestly wasn't watching. So what I'm going to do is kind of reverse engineer the trade. You can see the trend line that I had drawn, and it came up to that. So I would have taken one contract off right here at 42.35.75. So that gives me 4 3/4. So we'll take one at 4 3/4 and then see what's happening now. So basically we want to only get into one more DCA, and that would be it. So I'm going to take one off the table. I'm going to split this, and we'll know later on what happens in this. But basically, I think what I most likely would have done is taken 4 1/4, put my limit order a 0.5 point below the line in the sand, which was 42.30.25. So let's just call that I got out on the second one for a loss of a 0.5 point at 42.29.75. And now we'll look at end of day. So the 3 EODs, I was really close on all 3 of them. I mean, within 4 points, I think, on all of them, kind of thing. And you can see where we're at. We're currently going down. We were more green when I looked at this earlier, but I'm still doing that. We're high on the RSIs in all 3. It looks like we're finishing some wave fives, so it's going to be really interesting. We also bounced off the 4220. We bounced off some pivot point. 4225 is now bottom support, and we're in an up channel with 4229 as the solid bottom. So I still say it's 4217 and 4243 is the two possibilities. What's really interesting is that Jeff mentioned that, you know, interest rates are basically down. So it's going to propel, I think, more buying unless things change. So let's see. All right, this is it. And now we're going to go over and look at the M2K or MNQ. And this one, same, came really close to hitting it. 13,925 is now bottom support. And we came so close to touching and breaking the all-time high, as you can see. So that's basically still the all-time high. We probably will do it today or tomorrow. It just looks bullish. We're still, I think, in a 2 to 3 wave. So we will probably get a pullback in this week or maybe next week. And looking at 13,968 as the bottom end. And then I'm going to go above, and that we break it today and go 14,083. All right, so that's what the final is on that. We're going to go over to the Russell and then get our totals. So on the Russell, we have it's back in the bullish look. You have the double top at somewhere in the 2346, 47 area. And, you know, all-time high is also right in view. So it looks bullish. I'm just calling 2317 or 55. All right, this is it. Let's get our totals and then we're done. All right, and to finish up, our totals 2 out of 3. Missed the Russell, so we got 27 points, 126 currency units. Limit orders, a little bit strange, but modified, made 2.25 points on 2, and then never got into the DCA, and then we lost on the NASDAQ, and so we lost 12, and then we made 8.5 on the Russell. So negative points, barely, but positive currency units, and that's how we wrap up the day. So good Monday. See you soon. Talk to you on Tuesday. Aloha, mahalo.